Vlog now from just another boring country. I know it sounds negative. I know. Bicycle tour is commencing again on what day is it? On Sunday. It's Friday now. So I booked originally one night for Graz because it's a shithole, absolute shithole place, horrible place. Austria is so dull, one of the dullest countries in the world, I think, objectively. Can't stand the place, never could. I just have to go through it. Oh God, I wish I was in Italy right now, gorgeous Spain or France. Oh, lovely. Anyway, so yeah, I've extended for 4 nights in total, so that'll be 30k days, rounding up the I guess you could call the rest days to 5 on the trip, which isn't too bad, to be honest, given like the issues of the bike and the kind of the novice nature of the trip and actually still the distance covered. So yeah, and I've started to. It's good to have a little break and sit down and use the computer and work out where you're going to go, because I haven't literally opened my laptop in ages. It's been on just locked to the front of the bike. And now I'm utilising the website Warm Showers, which is like a couch surfing style website dedicated to cyclists. So you have to be a cyclist to utilise it. And I sent one message this morning, first message I've ever sent, and I was accepted by someone on the Austrian-Slovenian border. So essentially that's going to be the first pit stop, and it's just a short one. It's like a test run just to kind of get into it. And I've already fucked the bike anyway, so I might need some support with the technical side of that. Spokes have gone, sheared one spoke off completely. Another spoke is dodgy, and I haven't really checked the others, so there's probably more. There's that awful squeak, and yeah, I think it could be the lack of oil on the bike. It's pretty possible that's the case. I've lubed the bike, but I haven't oiled it. And yeah, I just went to a bike shop in Austria. Jesus Christ, Europe is such a shithole, honestly. The prices of oil, it's like literally 75 centilitres of oil, which it cost €1 at the gas station. I can just go to a gas station. Guy wants €12 for it. Is he fucking insane? it's just ridiculous. So yeah, there's that, and essentially once I check that, I'll just pump a bit of oil onto the chain tomorrow, give it a ride round. If that doesn't clear the noise, then yeah, I think it could be a bearing on the pedals, and if it's a bearing on the pedals, that's a big problem actually. It would have to go in for a fit in a shop, and then of course the shop will try and fuck you as well, so that's not it's not ideal. I'm comfortable riding the bike irrespective of if it's a dodgy bike. It's just the noise that it makes when you try and ride it. It's like the squeaking is just embarrassing, so that's the only problem realistically. The spoke thing is secondary, even though I guess most people would consider that to be quite a serious issue, which I'm assured, and drop the yogurt, I'm assured it potentially could be, but I don't really care, to be honest. That's the honest truth of the matter. If the bike breaks, I really don't give a fuck. It can just be repaired, or a new bike can be bought. It's better, the speed aspect's more important, getting from A to B to C in the right amount of time. That's what I'm interested in, just the speed. I don't care about this particular part of Europe. I think it's shit. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the Balkans, a little bit more personality, people that aren't brain dead. And then from there we go to obviously Turkey. Not too interested in Turkey. There's a few little things there I quite like to see. But I just want to run that coast to Iran, essentially. We're going to either get the visa in Istanbul, as I said before, or I'm going to fast track to Yerevan in Armenia, which is a bit of a detour, but at least it goes somewhere that's nice, with nicer people. By nice people I mean Russian-style people, although Armenians won't appreciate that. It's more kind of Russian-esque, and I like that. So that's the game plan thus far. Kilometre-wise, we've got 1,523 kilometres to go, approximately, so it's 1,500. And that can easily be smashed out now at 100 a day on a pure average, because the landscape is flatter and it's on more of a descent towards the Mediterranean. The only, I guess, negative is, well, there's two. Firstly, there's not going to be as many cycling trails in the Balkans, so it's going to be a lot of road. B, people have a habit of drinking too much and smashing bottles everywhere, so the tyres can potentially be ripped up quite easily. I think the latter is going to be the bigger problem, to be honest. And yeah, like I would show you a bit of Graz, but frankly I don't care. There's no interest. It's just like any other city. Most of it's, the thing is, it's one of those things, as we've spoken about before, when you understand true history and you realise that the narrative supplanted in the standardised education system that teachers preach to children, indoctrinate children with, it's all nonsense, it's all bullshit, and it's not substantiated by anything. It's just a relay of outdated facts and pure lies that are purported upon society to enable the status quo, to manipulate the coming generations and force them into essentially a malleable state, so that they can only contextualise whatever it is the state wants them to. And that's what you find now if you look through a different lens, as opposed to when you were young and you were kind of interested in castles and fortresses and, you know, these things that were very majestic and magical. When you actually understand the origin and realise that everything is pretty much fake and false and fictional, then it really doesn't have an interest anymore for me. And when you kind of align that to the idea and fact that, you know, realistically, there's so many better places out there to see, irrespective of if they're fictional or true. You know, the average pretty city in Europe, or once pretty city in Europe, is now just a kind of, you know, bog standard 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 10, I should say. So there's that. Again, it sounds very negative, but there's so many nice places in the world people can see, so many nice countries. I just don't consider Austria to be one of them. There we go. And I think if you're looking for mountains, you're looking for terrain, you're looking for architecture, all of these things combined with affordability, there's a dozen countries I can think off the top of my head in Central Asia alone that you go to. Pretty much every Central Asian country, from Pakistan, Afghanistan to Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. There's more on offer in 300 kilometres square of most of those cities than there is to be had in Western Europe, which is now just a stagnated pond without any European influence whatsoever for the most part. It's just a political shed that can be relayed to adhere to whatever protocol the European Union or whatever fascist dictatorship wants to implant for the coming, you know, decade or so, and everyone just laps it up and buys into it and flies their Ukrainian flags or their LGBT flags or whatever virtue signal they want to implant on themselves tomorrow. And yeah, it's sickening. People are devoid of any real, true cultural or intellectual value. It's lack of critical thought process. All these things are leading to the ultra kind of demolition of a former successful kind of culture and society, which was, you know, the European age of glory, you could say, or ages. So we'll wrap it up there, as it's not going into cycling anymore. But yeah, with respect to the bike, should have more cycling videos on Sunday. I'll still keep posting daily stuff. But after Sunday night, from Monday, then the speed starts. I could easily attain a bigger distance on the Monday. It's just I'm doing this experiment with staying in this village with this person and just seeing what it's like. And then from there, it's going to be 100k a day minimum. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there.